Look at this guy. Dalton came and helped out since he was in town. We got it fitted and it looks pretty good. We still got some small adjustments to do, but that's about right where I wanted it. And who knows what, me and the cats. So fine tuning, we'll put the front clip on. Body's back on. It's not welded on yet. Gonna show you some more details of it. Fitment's pretty good. This side can be pounded back in. That side fits a lot better. I still need to do a lot of work up here on the upper firewall area, but just wanted to get this kind of sorted out. This will need to be pounded back too, but go to the other side. There's this fitment there. Looking really good. I'm going to spend the next day or so lining everything up perfect, the best I can, putting a lot more bolts in it. I'm going to take the hood back off. It's just for representation. Making sure the body lines are as close as possible, and then start welding it on. So here's a little shot of the underside of the truck. If you remember my patch panel that I did. Here's the main floor support. I'll probably end up rolling this back under somehow and fitting it to this metal that I've created here, and I have the tabs. Got a hole in it so I can weld it to it. And I might go ahead and roll this metal under too and just have double the support. Roll this back under, so it's all fitting really well. Here's that tab, and then roll this support under too. Whoops. Attach it. So more to come.
Oh, Emma went twice. She has a 15 and 16.
Oh.
Yeah, is this a 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we're astronauts.
No more scratches. Starting to get it lined back up. I realize that I'm gonna have to probably make some relief cuts here because this was actually curved and it's pulling away from the body back here. I tried to straighten this other side out, and it actually tried to straighten up on the flange because it's not stretched enough up top. So I'll probably give some relief cuts or either stretch it the best I can. I'm gonna try to lift this side up a little higher because my body line, it needs to come up. Oop. So, well, we ended the night on a really good note because there's no A-frame. It's supported. And it looks like a dang truck. You can see the body line if you can't see it. It's about as close as I'm gonna get without shimming it. I did talk to my father and we actually raised the body up. I raised it up an 1/8 inch, shim it just so I can have some clearance to adjust. Went ahead and gave some spot welds, 4 here, and then made sure, and you can't see it, but mounted the main structure to the body, so it's going to support well. I really liked how the driver's side turned out, where it's pretty much flush with the floorboard all the way back. The passenger side, I had to pound it in to get it flush with the bottom of the floor. So I went ahead and welded it back here where it was more flat, but I may go ahead and pop these off and pound the floorboard up to match this better. As far as where it met down here, it was the same as the other side, so it's something to do with here. It might have a swag I didn't catch. Once I put the rubber floor mat or carpeting or whatever I decide to put in here, I'm going to make a panel that covers this and screws on. And also I go ahead and put it like a seam sealer all along the body, everywhere I weld. So that's the update for tonight. So I figured out the issue. I was having alignment issues with this passenger side. I think now it's pretty aligned. And it turns out my fender, that flange there, had some rust that was poking the flange up and allowing my hood not to come all the way down. And I was just getting thrown off by it. So it's lined up. And then I busted these welds out and jacked the floor up and kind of pounded on this ridge and brought it back down where I liked it, so there's no whoop-de-doo. So I'm gonna just take my time and start filling up the welds. But say hi to the people. This is Jacob. He came all the way up from Oklahoma to help on this beater truck. But we got the spot welds welded enough where we can take this body back off, and I'm gonna flip it up, hopefully on its top. If we can rest it on the back here somehow, so we can get underneath and spot weld all that and start fixing the firewall up. And that's the update.
Can I upgrade the turbo today?
Upgrading turbo.
What are we doing, safety, Alex?
Look at the body here.
I think this is OSHA approved.
I want to give everyone an update tonight, but probably won't get much done today. But we went ahead and put the truck body on its back so I can get this all spot welded, complete and solid, and do some other patch panel stuff. And I'm going to try to undercoat it. Might have to take it outside and power wash it and undercoat it the best I can once I get it all welded up, cleaned up. So we moved on. My welder ran out of gas, so we had to switch gears and moved on to this exhaust. And it wasn't fitting right when I bought the truck, but we went ahead and took the 45 collector part that goes to the turbo, and I twisted off both bolts, tried to drill them out, broke a tap, broke an extractor, and I'll go ahead and just finish the tap job up tonight. So that's an update. Finished welding up both sides as much as possible. This side turned out good. I decided just to keep this flange and roll it over. I'm gonna weld it to this, but I stopped on these since I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut this rust out, because I burnt through here and it's pretty rusty. So this is gonna have to be a priority. And then I might as well do the rocker panels. So it's gonna be a rust fest again. These supports turned out good where I can wrap them around. This side I could wrap it around, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a brace to catch this angle iron piece somehow. Probably just a piece of metal with a flange. Come over and catch that, and then box this in. I did get the exhaust bolted up after this fiasco of breaking things. I'll have to weld this completely up since they tried to weld it only a quarter of the way for some reason, and then re-weld this mount on to the bottom. And then I'll probably just go ahead and weld this one up since it's only in there probably 2 inches. That's where I cut it off and had to slide it back to make the difference up from moving the engine back. So we'll get that, weld the back mount back solid probably, unless I find a rubber bushy thing like this. So update for the night. I'm going to start cleaning this thing shop up. So I need to make this piece new, and since I don't have a bead roller, I'm going to try something. I recently got a air chisel at a garage sale, which is pretty nice, but it came with all these chisels, attachments that go into it. But I think I can make my own attachment using a bolt. I got this other bolt here that I'm going to shape into, I don't know why that's zoomed out, shape into this form and round it over on both sides. I think I can chisel that all the way out by using a form. I'll probably just try to find a router bit to match that shape and carve out a slot in this board, and I can use that to form the metal. So we're going to try it, and it might be a failure, but we'll see. So I spent about good 40 minutes getting the regulator, because this thing operates at 80 psi, it said. Made this little guide thing and routed this out, and went ahead and used this tool to smash it. It's pretty soft wood, so I smashed it down in there to make a little form for me. And honestly, it didn't do too bad. It does have a bead, and if I had a flat surface on this lip where it wouldn't go any further down and wouldn't let the metal bend back over, it would probably work. But it also twists around. Another day of work on the truck. The old Dalton came and is helping me out again. We're working on trying to finish off the underside of the floor. I've kind of passed on making that panel for now. Hopefully I can find a bead roller, or else I'm going to make the tool better. But so yeah, we're kind of straightening out some stuff and trying to blend it back in, making some cardboard patch panels, and then we need to fill these parts up and just start sealing the thing up. Got ourselves a welder. Got my side welded in. Okay. So we moved on to the middle section, and we made our templates, set of cardboard, and already cut them out. Getting ready to bend this lip here for Dalton's side. Got Dalton's side welded up. And got my template starting to make it where it's gonna bridge that gap there and make it solid. Hey.
Why are you videotaping? Come on, man.
Gotta see it. Trying to get it rolled. All right. We got our patch panels made and spot welded in to match the floorboard. I think it ties the floor structure into the original body really well. Give it a little bit more support. Got Dalton's side in. He did a really good job fitting it. He's got an air leak for some reason. Yeah, first job. on the old truck. Looks good. I think we're gonna set it down back to normal horizontal and work on the firewall. So yeah, horizontal. Well, Dalton and I have been busy at it, and we haven't had time to make much make any Instagram reel videos, but so we worked on this firewall. We got it all tacked up and flush. It's looking really good. Way better than I thought it was going to look. And went ahead and matched this up so it sits right at this little offset piece. And then tacked all the flanges up to this panel here, so I'll need to cut it off and start rolling it over to match that. But this side's going to be done fairly quickly. Just got to move on to this side and figure out this big hole in the center here, but it's looking good. All right, guys, it's 1:16. We're finally to the point we start working on this beast today. So I think I'm just gonna, I need 2 people really to help me out. One guy holding a piece of steel or something, a backer block to straighten this out better. So I think I'm gonna just hold off on the passenger side, finish welding up all the driver's side, and then start patching these panels in here and filling this up, and also weld up my panels on this outside so I can just call that done too. So there's a lot left to do. Let's do it. Got the firewall on the driver's side welded up and ground down pretty good. You don't want high spots, and I think I got a few left, so I'll need to ground it down just on the weld. I don't want to grind the sheet metal down, or else it just gets thinner. So you just need to grind the weld down, smooth it out as best you can. It went ahead and welded to the bracket because there's no way I cut it so close that just no way to get around it. Had some porosity there. Might have to go back and fill that in. Just kind of dirty. Rolled the firewall edge, and I'm gonna seam seal all this. But this is kind of like a factory, how you'd see a firewall edge, I guess. So moving on to this panel inside here, I did another patch panel, cardboard cutout, kind of get it to where I need to fit it. Cut my metal and drilled my holes, and so it doesn't fit exactly perfect when I start welding it. Basically, I get a corner or wherever I know it's going to fit, so I get a corner flush, get another corner flush, and then start tapping it down and working it its way back until you get everything welded. So I'll kind of tap here, weld this hole, tap this one, and I've got a bend in it, so you just kind of get it close to where you want it, and then do the final finessing as you weld. So welding this all up, get it smoothed up pretty good. Finished welding this little patch panel here and smoothed it up too. I think I'm going to hold off on the back for now. I could probably work on it back here, but this bar is really in my way to clean this up. So I might move on to the front firewall. I was going to potentially patch this, and I went and cut the top of the roof structure out of that old cab and was going to make a panel for this clear over here. But I really need to get this welded up first so I can know where this panel is going to sit before I start filling this in. So even though I said I wasn't going to work on it, I think I'm going to try to get this side fitted up as best I can. Wee. You look like you could be some some 70s rock band.
Nah, I'm a car worker. You don't look any different.